Hello guys, welcome to another video of Rhino 3D tutorials. In this tutorial we are going to see how to make Pantheon building, which is located in the Greece. It is actually a monumental building, so we are going to replicate the monumental building as a 3D model with the help of Rhino 3D, and we are also focusing on the details of the monumental building in this video. So stay tuned. So let's go into the video. Before we go into the video, don't forget to press the subscribe button below, and if you have any doubts, please ask us in the comment section, so because we are here to clarify all your doubts. Let's go into the video. I just placed the section, the elevation and the plan perpendicularly, so it matches to each other, and the entire model is based on the proportion, not on the scale. Okay, it's not on the scale because I got the plan and the section with different scales, and I got it from the Google. If you want the plan and section, you can go to the Google and just type Pantheon blueprints. You get these two, where you can use it as reference when you do modeling. So I just draw a rectangle to create a base frame. So I'm just extruding that using extrude curve command. Now I'm using scale 1D command to adjust it, because like it's different proportion, so I want it to the scale proportion to the size which I showed in the elevation, so I'm just altering to it and just I used hide command to hide that surface because I'm going to draw another one. So yeah, I'm using polyline. So this is the same technique which I did before for that platform, but I didn't record, so only you can't see that. So I'm just showing it again. I just draw a rectangle using polyline with similar on the plan, that is on the top perspective, top viewport. So I just draw the plan, then I'm just double clicking the viewport to change the viewport. So I'm just going into perspective tab. Now I'm just extruding it, and now using again scale 1D. So I'm just unhiding the component which I added before. So now I'm just using scale 1D. So I don't have any exact value, I'm just doing it with proportion to the elevation. So while in elevation also the size is not proper, so I'm just using a proportional value. Okay, so here it's like the value which I'm giving here is not up to the scale, it's up to the proportion which is shown in the elevation and the plan. I'm just using these two as my reference. So because in the elevation there is a podium called a base platform, so it's a kind of steps. So I'm just creating it. So I'm just creating that with the help of polyline and extrude command. So I'm just drawing the third step, that is the third podium level. So it's have a podium level and which consists of 3 steps. So I'm just drawing this. So I'm just drawing a rectangle with the help of polyline. So the polyline has been done, the rectangle has been done, sorry. So I'm just using extrude curve again. Extrude curve is like, as I said before, it is a tool where you can create a solid with the 2D reference with the help of 2D wireframes. So I created the solid. Now again I'm using scale 1D command to scale according. It's like scale 1D is a command where you can scale only on the single axis, so which is so useful for me to get it to the proportion. So I'm just making this is the fine. Yeah, this is fine with the measurement. This is totally fine. So I'm just saving it. Don't forget to save. So I'm saving the file. So I used to have this problem. So we created the base in the platform where the building is going to be. So I'm just hiding it, which I don't require right now. So the next step is to create the column. The Parthenon column combines the pattern of Doric and the Ionic order, which I'm looking forward to replicate in our 3D model. So I'm just drawing a line, and now I'm using circle, which is created with the help of diameter, not with the radius. So I'm just drawing a circle for the reference to create the column. So I'm just drawing the circle. So I'm just changing the layer so that it is visible when it comes to the colors. Like when I change it to red, it is visible in the plan, so that's the reason I change it. layer. So this is fine. So I'm just drawing a line center, and now I'm using polygon command with the sides of 26. You can change the sides by pressing the number sides here. So I'm just changing it to 26. So now I'm using arc, which is been like arc is like start, end and direction arc. I'm just selecting this option. Now the arc is been drawn. Now I'm going to use polar array. So POLA. So I'm going to just typing polar array. So polar array is like it gives you a number of copies in a circular form, so in a circular pattern. So I'm just selecting the center of the axis, ask for the number, you just keep 26 as your polygon. Also I have the 26 sides, that's the reason I gave it a polygon. So it's been done. So let's have a look whether it's joined. Yeah, it's joined. I'm just selecting all the thing and unselecting using using control, and I'm just selecting and use control J to join all the curves together. So now I'm going to offset the curves inside. So yeah, okay, I'm just changing the distance, so whether it's like it looks like this. Yeah, this is what I required. So but I don't need this corner edges, so I'm just going to fillet the command. So I'm just using fillet command right now, but the value I just definitely I need to change the value, so I'm just changing the value. This is fine. So I'm just doing it to the entire 26 edges. So I'm just using the fillet command to do this. So now the fillet has been done. So I need the extrusion, so I'm just using extrude curve. So I need a height up to this, like up to the column height of the image, but I couldn't snap here because I don't have any line, just an image. So I can draw a line here, so I'm just using a line command. I'm just drawing a line here, so it acts as a reference. So I'm just using extrude curve now. So I'm just using extrude curve now. The extrusion has been done, and I'm just using this line as the distance reference. So I got the line. So I'm just selecting all the edges. Now I'm using scale 2D. Scale 2D is a scale where you can scale it in double axis, not in a single axis. So be careful to select. So I'm just selecting scale 2D. So if you don't select scale, I'm just dragging this line to above, so that I'm copying it above, so that I can use scale 2D with the reference point, or else I can't able to do the scale 2D without the reference, right? So that's the reason I'm just copying this line above. So I'm just selecting shift press control and just selecting the edge by pressing shift and control. So I'm using scale 2D right now. So the scale 2D has been done. Yeah, so the column is like compressed at the top. So this is the style of column which we required. So now I am just using offset command to offset the circle which we drawn before for the reference purpose. So after I'm just changing the distance of the offset. So yeah, this is what I need. So I'm just selecting the circle where I can visible the rectangular control points, the square control points. Now I'm just connecting all the control points with the help of lines. I'm just using lines to create a square above it. So it's going to I'm just using this to draw a square because I need the square to draw the capital. I'm going to make a model of the capital, so I need the square to be done. So I'm just doing extrusion here with the up to a distance of this. Yeah. Okay, I'm just seeing just measuring the distance which is in the image with the help of a line, so that I could replicate the same distance here. So I'm just selecting the square and just using extrude curve to give a dimension to it, which is going to act as a capital for me. So now I'm just selecting the curve beneath, the circle beneath. Now I'm just using extrude curve again to create a solid. So I need this, I need the solid to be stretched a little bit, so I'm going to select both the solids and use scale scale 1D command. So be careful, don't get confused with scale 1D and 2D. So here we are using scale 1D command. So I'm just selecting it little bit further. Okay. Okay, this is fine. So I'm just dragging it to the top of the column. So as I said before, this part is going to be act as the capital. So we are going to make with the help of this as a reference, but you can see the circle is too much bigger than what I required. So I'm just drawing a line in between. Now I'm going to use scale 2D. So that's the reason why I'm just drawing this line. The line will help me for scaling purpose. It act as a reference, so I can easily find the midpoint of the circle for everything. So I'm just using scale 2D. Now I'm just compressing to this is fine. Yeah, this is totally fine, I think so. So I'm just dragging it down with the help of gumball. I'm just moving a little bit down. So now I'm just selecting the cylinder and using extrude wireframe, extract wireframe. Now I'm just selecting the edges of the I'm just moving it aside by using alt, so it will create you a copy. Just don't forget to press the alt key. So we got it. So I'm just zooming it. Yeah, this is what I required. So I'm just drawing a line aside. So I want to create a cross section to use the command called swipe. So I'm just creating this line for the reference to create a cross section, because at the top it gives you a smooth finish. I want a smooth finish which should be connected with the wrinkled one. So I need a finish like this. So I'm just drawing lines to create a cross section. So this is a cross section. So now you can see the cross section has been but I need a fillet at this point. So I'm using fillet command right now. So I'm just maximizing this view and using fillet, but this fillet is fine, but I want it more to be smoothened. So I'm just undoing and doing fillet a little bit bigger. So I'm just checking it with the okay, this is fine. I'm using Ctrl J to join that. So it has been joined. So now I'm going to use swipe to command. So it's asking for the first rail. So I'm just selecting the bottom one as first rail and the top one as the second rail on the cross section. So now I'm press OK. So this is what I need. So now I'm using cap to close it and make it as a solid, that is a closed surface. So I'm just turning in the view into wireframe so that I could place it properly. So I'm just placing it here. So I am just deleting the cylinder which we drawn before for the reference purpose. It was been drawn. So this is the column which I need. So this is fine. Okay, so this is the kind of column which is a combination of Doric and Ionic. Maybe this is a kind of a replica. So if you think like you need some changes, if you notice that some changes to be done, just say it in comment section so that I could correct it and re-upload. Yeah, so I'm just moving this. I'm just making into a block first of all. So I'm just making the block name as something column. Yeah, this is fine. So I'm just done with the column. So I'm just using copy command. So here's the circle helps a lot. So I'm just placing it. I'm just taking the circle as a reference purpose. I'm using the same technique and snapping the exact circle here. So this is fine for me to navigate and to move a irregular shape, because it does not have the base is not a regular shape. So here the circle was so helpful. So don't delete the wireframe after you done the model. So I'm just drawing a line here to find the center. So I'm just drawing a line to get the center, because the model is actually a symmetrical model. So when we do one part, then it's easy you can use mirror command, then finish the other part. So it's easy to do it, right? Like in that means. So I'm using mirror command here again. Sorry, I'm using line command to segregate the symmetry between the vertical axis. So I'm just drawing a line on both the middle, so that I could use mirror command on the both the sides for the columns. So the column which I created, so I'm just going to use, I just need to copy this, but I'm going to use linear array to get it done. So I'm just using linear array. I'm just selecting the block because the image has also been there, so you don't by mistake don't select the image, just select the column. If you want, you can lock the image also, but I didn't do that because I can be assured, like I won't select it, I have that assurance. But if you don't, you can lock the image if you want. So I'm using linear array, so I just gave the number which I need. Just gave the number of 17, that is the total length of the number which I required. So this is fine. Actually I want the model to be done in a proper manner, so I'm just deleting this. Now I can select all the columns and use mirror command, so that I get an exact ratio. Because we don't know the value, at least we can maintain the symmetry, so that the model will come in a symmetrical manner, so it looks proportional. So because we are not sure about the exact value, and you can't measure the value in this image also, it's been pixelated. When you zoom there, I can't get the exact measurement of it, so it's tough. So I'm just using mirror to sustain the symmetry of the model. So this is done. So I'm just going to do for the entire opposite. I'm just selecting all the column, then I'm using mirror in this axis. So we got the column on the opposite axis too. So I'm just selecting the block, and now I'm just dragging it. You can use gumball and press alt and move, it will give you a copy. Or I'm just using linear array to get to get a number of, so linear arrays, it will give you the object with an equal interval distance. So the distance between two columns will be same up to the last, so which is so helpful. But I forgot to give the number as 4, so now I gave the number. So I just use linear array to create a column. I just created one extra, so I just deleted it. So I'm just selecting the columns. So now I'm using mirror command here, so I get the exact opposite. So I'm just selecting all the column which we created in this side. Now I'm going to mirror to the opposite side, that is the front facade. So I want column there, so I'm just using mirror command again to get it on the opposite side. So now the column has been placed, so I just maintain the symmetrical value of the building, so it will be looks proportional. When the symmetrical goes, then the model will not be like the same. So the column has been placed, so the column part has been done. I'm just unhiding the steps which we created before, so to just see the look of the image and the model which we created up to till now, it matches. Maybe you can see little slack and dark, but it's okay. I'm not the designer of the building, I'm just replicating it. So we need a small column, so I'm just copying the column here. I'm using gumball, just moving this and using pressing alt, you can get a copy. Now I need to get the column smaller in single axis, not in the 3 axis. So I'm just drawing a line for reference purpose to do scale 2D. So I'm just using scale 2D command. So scale 2D command I'm just using, and I'm just scaling on the double axis, so the scale has been done. So the scaling has been done. So yeah, so this has been done. I'm just altering it to get a little bit in the alignment. I'm just altering the alignment, so I'm just copying it because these are the inner columns. So I'm just using Control to copy by pressing Alt button. So you can copy in various method in Rhino, so it's up to you, up to your comfort. You can use any method. So the three columns has been copied. Now I'm just selecting all the three and I'm just using mirror command to get a symmetrical value. So the mirror, so I'm just selecting the inner columns to do the mirror on the opposite sides because we have the smaller column on the opposite sides too. So I'm just using mirror command again to get it on the opposite sides. So I'm just doing this so that to maintain the symmetry. I'm just saying it again because one, you should maintain the scale or the symmetrical value. So I'm just going with the symmetrical, not with the scale, because I don't know the scale. So now I'm just using polyline to draw a rectangle inside it. So I'm just using this as I'm just snapping it to get a correct exact value. So while doing this, you should turn on the O snap, which is down below. So now I'm just adding the image. So because I need a rectangle inside, so I'm just using offset command with the distance. So I'm just changing the I don't want this distance because I want a little bit bigger rectangle inside. I mean a little bit aside. The distance should be a little bit more further. So I'm just changing the distance. So I'm just deleting this. So this is a rectangle which I need. I'm just changing the view, that is from top to, I'm just changing the view to perspective by double clicking the tab name. So I'm just using extrude command here. So there are two inner steps. When you see the elevation, other than the three steps which is in the front, there are two inner steps. So I'm just creating that level. The same way I'm just excluding the curve, then I'm using scale 1D to get the value. So I'm just selecting this and using scale 1D, that is a scale 1D command. It's a command where you can use it to scale only in one axis. I'm just saying this because you can use scale 1D in different types, different ways. Scale 1D is so helpful command, so only I'm just giving the definition whenever I use it because I want you guys to use it and enjoy the fun. So I'm just doing the same method for the inner steps also. So I'm just giving a value of 1.61 meter. Don't ask me again for the values. This is just a proportional value, not the exact value. Just imagine now steps with a 1 meter of riser. Oh my god. So now we are done with the levels and podium. So I'm just drawing a line to create the inner wall, that is the wall which is being indicated in the solid black color. So I'm just using polyline to create this. So I'm just selecting the line. So I'm just drawing another polyline to create another rectangle here. So I can do it in the same manner, but in the image it's not a perfect rectangle, it comes in between a bound and back. So I'm just doing it in two separate blocks. Then I can join it by using Boolean union. So I'm just extruding it. Now I'm just doing to the same. So now I'm going to, as I said before, I can use scale 1D. Scale 1D, yeah. So I'm just selecting this and using Boolean union. Then I'm using merge all coplanar faces to merge the faces. So the faces is being merged. Now you can see the smooth wall. between the perpendicular one. So I'm just using mirror command here again. So the model is basically using mirror command, and the model is done basically on 4 to 5 basic commands, not more than that. So it's like I'm just showing you how, I'm not showing like how to make this model, I'm just showing you to how to make a model when you have the plan and the elevation. So with the help of plan and elevation, how can you make, I'm just showing how can we make a model. So because in architectural ways, like when you go in a firm, they used to give a plan and the elevation, not a 3D perspective or 3D view. So that time you can use this technique to so it will be so helpful. So only I'm just making this with the help of this. So this has been done. So now I'm just using polyline to create the lintel for the walkway, that is the doorway. I'm just creating the lintel. So I'm just using a copy. I'm just going to copy and place it over here. Well, I'm not going to work in the inside too much because it's not going to be visible. I'm just going to work on the visible part, not in the non-visible part. Okay. So I'm just using a polyline and just drawing a rectangle to the column. I mean, with the help of the pillar reference. That is, I'm just taking the pillar edges as the reference, the capital of the pillar. So I'm just drawing a rounded rectangle with the help of polyline. So it has been drawn. So I'm just going to use polyline again. Now I'm going to draw a rectangle inside, because I don't want a flat surface, I want a hollow surface, hollow cuboid. So I'm just going to draw like that. So when I make, you will get it. So I'm just selecting both the lines and just keeping a distance. I just did the extrusion, then I'll just adjust it with the help of scale 1D. So it's simple, right? Because at the first you don't know the value, but just do the extrusion, then you can adjust it with the scale 1D command, which is simple and elegant, right? So when you get an option to adjust, then why don't we use it? So it's the so I want stuff like this. Now I'm just using scale 1D and I'm just pinging it in the middle and just reducing only 1 meter aside. So I'm just doing it in the middle, because if I did this, I just ping it in the middle, it will act like a mirror. So when I reduce it in this side, automatically it will get reduced on the opposite side also. So only I'm just pinged in the middle and just scaling it. So I'm just scaling because the capital to be projected, and you can see the capital is being projected in the image. The capital is being projected in the outwards in the image. So I'm just following the elevation. So that's the issue. That's why I'm just giving a compression in it. So the compression has been done. I'm just using scale 1D with a given value. You can change the value. And I'm also sharing the file beneath. Okay, so now I'm just drawing a full extrusion from the outer rectangle, which we drawn with the help of polyline. So which is being drawn. So I'm just using scale 1D right now. I just changed the view to wireframe so that I can use the scale 1D with so I thought I can see the hidden lines which I need to use for the reference purpose. So I'm just giving a flat surface like this, which is required. Yeah, so you can see there is a depth inside, then it comes back, there is a projection. So the elevation acts like this: first there is a depth, then it comes back to the projection. So I just gave the depth, but then I kept an actual size with the rectangle which I drawn before. I just took that rectangle, then I just draw extrusion from that rectangle, so that I don't want to change anything. Just after drawn, I just lift it up. Also, I use scale 1D to get the right shape. So now I'm just taking this as a copy of above, so which I need like this, but I don't want this halo space. I want it to be a complete solid, so I'm just drawing a polyline around it. So I'm just drawing a rectangle with the help of polyline. So now I'm just selecting the line and just doing the extrusion, so it has been extruded. So I'm just selecting these two and using boolean union, and now I'm using merge to coplanar. Now I'm using merge to coplanar surface, so it merges the surface. So this is the shape which I need. Okay, so I'm just taking the copy of the projected one which we said. So I'm just taking the copy of it because I want kind of a gradient. Like first one is like it comes projection with a little bit, next one bit higher, and another one another higher, so it should create a harmony according to the image which I showed. It's like it creates. So I'm just increasing the size. And now I'm just taking this a copy and making this above. So I'm okay. So now I'm going to use scale 1D command. So I need this one to be projected a little bit further more than the bottom one. So I'm just scaling just a meter height. So according to this model, meters kind of be around 0.25 scale. So the scale is totally different. So I need a projection. I need a projection right here on the both axes, not only on the single axis. I'm just doing one by one, so that I don't want to do any reference line. If I need to do a scale 2D, then I want to draw a line, then I want to make it come. It's like I want to make the center point as the origin, then I want to find. So and this time I'm just using scale only on both the axes, which is obviously the scale 2D command. So it's up to you. You can use a single tool twice or use as scale 2D instead of it. So it's up to you. So I'm just need this surface. I mean this one little bit further than the previous one. That is maybe the bottom one was 1 meter projected, then this will be around 2 meter projection. So I need that increment in a proper manner. So I'm just doing it. So I'm just doing the increment. So as I said before, I'm just doing it on the both the sides with the same command called scale 1D. I said no, scale 1D is like it's a convenient tool where you can use like whenever you want. That's great, right? Yeah. I'm just doing a scale in the opposite direction. The scale is being done. Little bit ahead. Yeah, this is fine. This is what I need. Okay, this fine. So now I need the triangle. So the vertical line has been drawn. So this is a normal roof, but I don't want this. I want a little bit of eye raised, and it want to be projected. So I'm just drawing a line straight with a approximate value. So yeah, this is fine. So I'm just joining these two ends, and I'm just deleting the line which I drawn before with the base of this. And I want to add a line, but I don't know the dimension, so I'm just drawing the same distance which I drawn there. So now I'm drawing a line with the base of this. So you got a equal. Now I'm drawing a line. So I'm just extending this line to this. So I'm just using extend command so that it will give you an extension where we can use it as a projection, like a shade or shade. In the image it was like there is a projection, so I'm just doing the projection which I need. I'm just drawing the lines and perpendicular. Now I'm just using trim command to trim this, which I don't need. So this is the part which I need. Well, I'm going to delete that line, and I'm going to mirror this whole part so that I get a symmetrical one. Wait a sec. This is an error. See, you can see it's been joined here, but it's not been joined. I think so. There is a problem in the mirror. Where did I get the mistake? Okay, yeah. So I'm just hiding this line. Now I'm just taking a new line. Okay, the midline. I didn't draw the line exactly at the mid. So that's the problem where it reached. So now the line has been in the mid. So I'm just trimming this. Now I'm going to use mirror command. So I'm just selecting all the three lines. Now I'm using mirror command. So it has been mirrored. So now you can see both the places are being joined. Yeah, so this is what I was expecting. So yeah, sometimes mistakes happen. So I'm just using offset command to get an offset like this. I'm just reworking on this thickness, because sometimes the thickness won't sometimes it's like it won't, like it will fine when the image, but I don't think so. I'm just seeing offsetting. So I'm just reworking on the thickness. Okay, this is fine. So I just offset a certain value to get a little bit of extra thickness for the value, so the angle won't be changed. So I used offset command here. This is the lower line of offset is for the inner roof, not it's like it's done with the, so it's for the inner roof. So it has not been altered. So the upper offset only has been altered for the alter the thickness of the roof. So it has been re-edited because it's been offset. So the line has to be extended. See, there is a gap here and I want to re-edit here. So I'm just using trim command to trim, which is this line I don't need. So now I'm using extend to extend this. So the line has been extended. Okay, so I'm just saving. So don't forget to save your project, because it's a work of 1 or 2 hours, and if you don't save, seriously a headache, man. For me, I don't want to get that headache, so only I used to save it. So the wireframe has been done. Now we have to do extrude, but for an extrusion we need a joined line, and if you join this line, then we have to redo the line for the inner surface. So I'm going to use a tool which will help us in this situation. So I'm just selecting all the lines. Now I'm going to curve tool, that is on the curve tool tabs. I'm using curve boolean. So after using curve boolean, if you don't know what is curve boolean, I have explained in the curve boolean command in previous video, so check out that. So after I did the curve boolean, go over the lines which is been joined, and I extruded for the roof. So the roof has been done. So now I'm using polyline to trace out the inner roof. So I'm just tracing out the part. I'm just using polyline to trace out the inner roof. It can be done by curve boolean also, but I'm just showing like different tools which do the same operation, so you can get a clear idea of where what to use the station. That's why I'm just doing this in using a polyline, not by a curve boolean. So I'm just selecting this and using extrude command here to extrude the inner roof which I need. Now I want the elevation to study about the front facade, so I'm just unhiding the elevation which I added before. So yeah, this has been joined. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, so now the center so the inner the inner roof should be go in little bit further. So I'm just drawing I'm just taking a polyline command to close the surface with extrusion. So I'm just giving an extrusion. So I'm just using an extrude command, so the extrusion will give you a surface. So it maybe to a approximate value, because I'm going to push it inside, because it's in the image you can see there is a depth between the inner roof and the facade. Everything you can see there's a depth. So and the inner roof also should be pushed in, so I'm just checking on it. So now I'm just drawing a line, so which I'm just extruding in this direction. So I'm just changing the direction by using D press. So I'm just extruding in this direction. Now I'm just giving an extrude surface command, not extrude curve, extrude surface, be clear with that. So we can use extrude surface to extrude the surface. So I'm just using this. So I'm just moving this and keeping here, so that it acts like the statue podium. The platform for a statue, which we are going to make next. So I'm going using polyline. So I'm literally raising it up. It's a little much. So this is what I need. So now I'm using polyline. So I'm just tracing out the part which I need, which is going to be visible. So I'm just deleting the surface. Now I'm just using extrude up to this. So I did my extrusion. So I just deleted the cuboid or something, the 3D which you used to draw. So this is where the statue is going to be stand here. So I'm just making a copy for the opposite side also, because it's a symmetrical, so obviously you will get a. So I'm just hiding this part. So as I said before, it's like I'm just making the mirror for the opposite sides. I forgot to close the opposite side part, so I'm just making a mirror for the opposite side also. So it's like, so for the opposite side it is also being closed like the front one. So the model is almost done, but we have to make the detail yet. So the detail has to be done yet, so we have to work on it. So the model is almost done, so let's go into the detail which we need to add. So here I need so I'm just drawing a bounding box which I'm going to extrude. So I'm on the extrusion to be done in the opposite direction. So I'm just going to draw. So after I did the rectangle, I'm just using extrude curve to extrude in this direction. Now I'm just using scale 1D. So I'm just unhiding first, and now I'm using scale 1D command to get the scale. So I'm just scaling according to the correct ratio. So I want a surface like this. now I'm just using scale 1D in the opposite direction. So in the inner side there is a maybe a seating like this, so only I'm just altering according to which the model changes. So when we get a lower angle of the front view, you have to, so this ceiling will be visible. So I just saw in the view, so I'm just adding the detail 2 in it. So now I'm going to create the details of the top was the top platform. So I'm just drawing a line. This is a cubical detail which you saw in the monument, like the detail of the stone embedded stones which you can see in the ancient buildings. So I'm just drawing this rectangle. So now I'm just dragging it. So this is the shape which we are going to work for it. So I just brought the single part, that is the cube, to edit it separately so that I can copy it and place it. So I just traced out I just split it into two halves, then the single half into each quarter. So it has been split like this now. So it has been split into 4 equal quarters. So this is what which I need. So I'm just going to use I'm just changing the tab. So I'm just using an offset. So maybe offset won't work properly, so I'm just drawing a line, then I'm just finding I'm just drawing a center line. I'm just using mirror command to get it on the opposite side. Now I'm just using a curve, that is curve start in direction. That's the curve I obviously use all the time. So I'm just using it again right now. So I'm just using trim command to trim it. So this is being trimmed. So I'm just using Ctrl J, and now I'm using scale 1D to extend little bit further up. So this is the one which I need a little bit further up. Now I'm using curve boolean to get the trace of the which I need to extrude. So this has been done. I'm just using extrude curve. So it has been given the thickness. So I'm going to use move command and place it here like this. So it has been placed. So this is what I need, and I need a distance, like in between there will be a tile pattern. So I am just tracing out this, and I'm using a polyline to trace out the exact rectangle of the base which I did the extrusion. So this is I'm just extruding below of the tile, that is the pattern, the exposed tile, so which I need. So I'm just deleting the line which I don't. Now I'm using scale 1D command and just doing a scale beneath. So I'm just using scale 1D here. So it has been done. So scale 1D. So now I'm just using scale 1D command to reduce the thickness of. So now I'm just copying this part. So I'm just copying this part and placing beneath, and now I'm using scale 1D again. So it has been scaled below, and now I'm just copying it into, and I'm just scaling one in the base again. So now I'm going to copy it to the end, at least to the end. So now I'm just selecting all the copies, and I'm going to use scale 1D again so I'm just deleting the in between part to get a detail like this. I'm just selecting all this and using boolean union. So it is been joined. Now I'm using merge coplanar faces, so the faces also be joined. So I'm just selecting these two, and I'm using scale 1D command so that I want a scale up to this. I'm just deleting this part. So I'm just selecting these two and just using copy command here and deleting the extra ones. So I just kept that one for the reference to, so that I can place it in a perfect scale. So I'm just using linear array. So I'm just using linear array, and if you don't get the linear array in exact finish like this, just don't worry, just scale it, use scale 1D and get the scale done. So this is what I need, and in between I need a tile with a pattern of gray architecture. So but I don't so here I need a, so I'm just using I'm just going to use polygon to trace out the faces of it. So I'm just tracing out the face of the tile which we want. So where I'm going to place the pattern, that is the pattern which I'm going to place. So I'm just doing the extrusion here. The extrusion has been done. Now I'm just making a copy of the extrusion so that I can work on the tile separately. So I just have a pattern, but that is not the exact pattern, but it matches a lot because I did it for a Vietnamese timber structure. So I used a pattern for this. Maybe I'm just using this as a remedy. Okay, this is not the exact pattern which was there, but what to do, I don't have any other pattern right now, so I'm just placing it over here. And now I'm using scale 1D. So I'm just scaling this and make it fix properly to the tile. So yeah, this is fine. So I need a depth between the tile and the pattern, so I'm just reducing the tile thickness little bit, so it creates you a illusion of depth, so which I need like that. So this is what I'm just reducing this. So I'm just selecting this and use move command, and now I'm just placing it over here. So it has been placed. So now I'm just selecting and using linear array, or you can copy one by one, so it's up to you. I'm just making a copy of one by one. So now I'm just make sure that this pattern should be all over the I'm just making copy of this pattern like all over other three sides. So I'm just doing it. So I'm just using the same command like copy paste, like linear array, then scale 1D. That's the command which I'm going to use. So I'm just using the same command, so only I'm just making it as a time lapse. So I'm just placing it over, then I'm just using copy or linear array, then scale 1D. So when I got the pattern on the one side, I can use mirror command to get it on other two sides. So it's simple, just try it by yourself. So So now I need a pattern to that triangular one, so I'm just inserting a pattern which I done before. So this is the pattern. So this pattern is done for another jolly work, so I'm just using that pattern. So whatever pattern I'm putting, it's like everything was done by me, so the copyrights, everything is being given to only to me, not to anyone else, I think so. So this is one, so I'm just, so it's like literally matches, so I'm just using rotate command. Now I'm just turning it, and now I'm just bringing the facade which I need out so that I can work on it separately. So I'm just making a copy of it, so I'm just moving this and placing over it. So now I'm just dragging it a little up so that the pattern stays inside the triangle, not it won't come outside. So now I'm using scale 1D command to get the pattern be fixed and the triangular one. So that is the job we have to do. It's like, as I said before, this model is majority we use scale 1D. So scale 1D is like when you start with sculpting or everything without scale 1D, it's like, I don't know, because I use a lot of it everywhere, everything. I don't go with any other command, just one command. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so comfortable with it. I don't know why. Maybe you, if you have any reason, just say in comment section. So any particular command which you use like simultaneously, and don't forget to say about the video. Like if you have any doubts, maybe I re-record it. I mean, I worked on it, then I re-record it. I just cut out certain parts while editing. So if you don't understand certain parts, you can definitely ask in the comment section, or else you can message me in our official website called Parametrics, where we used to give updates about parametrics, and we also post some time-lapse videos, so you can ask us the doubts about the video there. And we are also planning to create a clubhouse while hosting this, so if you have any doubts, you can ask in the clubhouse too. So I'm just mirroring the pattern to get the pattern on the other side also. So wait a sec, I'm just moving this, I'm just deleting this because I just draw one extra. So it has been done, yeah. So now I'm going to concentrate on the sculptures which we are going to place it on above. So the sculptures which we are planning to place it on the above of the building. So when I saw the view, I saw there is a triangular spark which comes around all over the longer sides. So I'm just creating that. I'm just drawing a polygonal rectangle. I'm using a polyline. So I'm just giving a arc. So I'm just scaling it a little bit down, so I don't want to exceed the platform for the statue which we given, so it should be less than the platform which we created for the statue. I'm just using scale 1D again here. So obviously I'm I'm a fan of scale 1D, man, so obviously I use scale 1D everywhere. So sorry for that, but it's like kind of an addiction. So I'm using start end direction curve again, so to create a curve like this. So and I'm using mirror command, so it comes in a sharp edge like this, like a domed shape. So I'm going to use curve boolean and just trace out the center part which I need. So okay, this I got, so I'm just extrude it, and now I'm going to use linear array to make a copy of it in a linear stretch. Then I'm going to use mirror command. That's obviously command which we are using from the first. So I'm just using linear array here. Maybe I don't know the numbers which I need to give, so it's so small, so I'm just going to edit the numbers like. So I'm just creating a linear array. I'm just copying this which I made a group when I did, and I'm just placing all over the length, all over the stretch. And now I'm going to use remove from the group command, so I'm just removing all the part. So I just removed all the part which I don't need, and I'm just deleting it. Now I'm just selecting these two groups. Now I'm going to use mirror command. So the mirror command, so it has been mirrored. So this is what I need. So everything is done. Next we have to work on the sculpture. So I just took a sculpture called lion, kind of a lion which from the warehouse, so I'm just placing it. So it's typically a lion. So actually in the model it was like a lion with a feather, but I don't have time to do a sculpture with a lion with a feather. Maybe I added the sculpture of the center which is being focused. Maybe this is not a part, so I just took it from the Sketchup arrow. So I'm just giving the credits to the Sketchup arrow. So I don't know who did the line. Maybe it's nice with the low polygon which is so compatible with the Rhino. So when I import it, it doesn't load my file because it has been so low with the low polygon. So the line, now I'm going to use mirror command. I'm just placing it a little bit. Yeah, so next I'm going to use mirror command. Then I'm going to place all the four places, maybe all over all the four places. So I'm going to use mirror now, so on the opposite sides. Now I'm using mirror on the opposite side. So it's been done. So the center one, it's like it's a detailed one, so we are going to work on it in detail to get it, because I didn't find out. So this is the center one. So I'm just saving this image of the center statue, and I'm just importing the center statue into the, so I'm going to work on the center statue. So I'm because I don't get this center statue, and this is a epic one of the building, so it has various meanings, and if you want you can search it on the Google to know the meanings, because when I studied it's like it shows the symbol of the Athens, like the torch, everything has a different meaning. So I'm going to trace it out, not exactly the maybe a fastest form of the model. So I'm going to trace it, and I'm going to use extrude command. So now I'm just using polylines and under continuous curves to trace out the shapes. So I'm just tracing out the shape. I'm just tracing out the image by using the curves command and polylines, and I'm just extruding it and placing in a different perspective. That's it. So I'm not doing a heavy job, so only I just speeded the video because it's not a big deal to explain it. I just traced with the curves, then I just did the extrusion. That's it. So after I did the extrusion, I just used two circle with various, and then I'm using the swipe to command, like this command is like I use this command to make the column capital. The same way I'm just making a torch like it's like a torch like structure. I'm just using the same step, like I just draw the frame, I mean cross section, then I'm just going to use it like this, then I'm just moving it. I'm just drawing a line like this. So I'm literally designing the cross section. So I'm just deleting the part which I don't need. The cross section has been deleted, I mean done. I'm using Ctrl J to join the cross section. Now I'm going to use swipe tool. So I'm going to use swipe to so it's asking for the swipe right. Now I am just scale the cross section, plus enter. Well, this is not maybe this is not what I required. Maybe I'm now it's like I don't need swipe 2, maybe I'll go with swipe 1. It's like I'm just using single rail, so I'm just giving single rail and the cross section. Now I'm pressing OK. So I got like a base of the torch, so I'm just dragging it. So I'm using cap to close it. So so I don't need the top part, so I'm just using shift control to delete only the top, not the bottom. So I used cap to close the bottom, so but clap is obviously there, it closes top and bottom. So after this I'm just drawing a circle, and now I'm just offsetting the circle to get the flame. It's like it's not a typically flame, like kind of a flame to place there. So I'm just going to draw a smaller circle, then going above up. Now I'm just going to scale it a little bit smaller. Yeah, okay. So I'm just offsetting this too. So I'm just using 4 and going to give loft. I'm just giving loft command, so it has been loft like this. So I got a structure, I mean a shape like this, which literally acts like maybe a flame or something. Now I need to scale it, so I want to be in the bigger shape, so I'm just using scale command by using gumball. So I'm just using, so now I'm using polyline to trace the triangle, I mean the triangle which need for the base. So I'm just using polyline. So I just trace out the angle, so I'm just using extrude curve to close like this. So it is the final touch of the models. So I'm just a little bit dragging inside inward. I'm just selecting this and I'm just copying this and placing it in the platform which we created. Now I'm going to scale it according to the platform which I need. So obviously I'm going to scale it according to it which we need. So I'm just using scale 2D to the scale. So the model is literally done. So just say your comments about the model and about the video, and like say give some suggestion like where I need to improve and where I need to say it elaborately, like that. Give us suggestions, ideas, so that I could improve my works with your ideas. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe our channel, because we are going to post a lot of videos about Rhino, making a model of the making a replica of the real buildings which I see, or which I which I want to see, which I like to see. So just stay tuned, and thank you for watching the video. Bye bye, have a nice